what's up everybody, it's Math at Home here. Today is our third lesson, third video about 3D and 2D shapes. We will cover page 159 from our learner's book, unit 14. So grab everything necessary and let's get it started. We're going to start our lesson with a definition of 2D and 3D shapes. Let's see what the differences are about them. We mean a shape which is flat. About 3D shapes, we say a shape that has depth to them. So what do they mean in picture? So imagine this circle. You could easily draw it on a piece of paper, which means it's flat. But if we consider a related 3D shape of the circle, which is going to be a cylinder, now this cylinder is going to have depth into it. Now you cannot draw it on a piece of paper. I mean, you can by some drawing techniques, but you cannot actually feel the shape, which makes a major difference between 2D and 3D shapes. So 3D shapes are actually real shapes, you could touch them, but 2D shapes are the shapes that are flat and you could only draw them on a piece of paper. So about this triangle, which is a 2D shape, in order to have a 3D form of it, we could have a triangular prism. And about a square, for example, the 3D shape of it is going to be a cube. These are all the shapes that we come across in our daily life, either 2D or 3D shape. Now, the most important thing for you to understand is that 2D shapes are flat and 3D shapes has depth into them. Let's continue. After understanding the major differences between the 2D and 3D shapes, the next topic we're going to cover is about the symmetry. Symmetry simply means the quality of being made of exactly similar parts facing each other or around the line of symmetry. Now you might wonder what a line of symmetry is. I'm going to open the case for you in further examples. About the symmetrical patterns, when a shape has one or more lines of symmetry, it is symmetrical. So please pay attention. Even if it has one line of symmetry, it is called the symmetrical pattern. In simple words, if we put a mirror instead of the line of the symmetry, the image in mirror will be exactly same as it is on the other side. I will come up with some more examples in order to build up a mindset for you. In order to build up a good mindset about the line of symmetry and symmetrical shapes. Imagine this picture. When we talk about the line of the symmetry, we discuss about putting a mirror instead of this line so that two parts which it cuts the shape into are supposed to be exactly the same. Now, for example, imagine the right part and the left part of the shape. Are they identical? So of course they are not. It means according to this line, my shape is not symmetrical at all. The deal is, you can change the place of the line and rotate the line in order to find a symmetrical position. I want to rotate it. So what about now? Is the upper part same as the bottom part? Well, still no. Let's continue rotating our line. What about now? Absolutely yes, because the upper section of the shape is exactly identical as the down part. It means if we put a mirror in the line of the symmetry, the image which is reflected is going to be exactly the same as it is in front of the mirror. So we could say that our shape is symmetrical with this line of symmetry. Let's continue having the hope to find more symmetrical lines. What about now? Well, no. Actually, I could see that two blue squares are in the upper section, while in the bottom part we do not have any blue squares. Now it's not happening again. Let's talk about this shape. What do you think? Is the right part same as the left part? Well, no. That missing square is one of the flaws that causes the shape not to be symmetrical. Let's make a rotation. What about now? Well, obviously no. Neither in this form, because the upper part is a complete line, while in the bottom part we have two separate short lines. They do not look identical at all. Neither in this form. So let's forget about this middle shape and go to the other one. What do you think? Do we have any symmetrical situation? Not like this. What about now? Is the upper section similar to the bottom one? Yes, it absolutely is. It means if you fold the shape from the red line, the two bottom and upper part are going to cover each other in a very perfect way. So it is symmetrical. Let's continue. Well, this is not working. This doesn't work either. And not even this one. Okay, let's continue now. After understanding the differences between 2D, 3D shapes, and the symmetrical condition about them, the next thing we're going to study is going to be about parallel and perpendicular lines. Now, you might have already had some clues about what they are, but today we're going to study them in depth. About parallel lines, we define them as two straight lines in a plane which do not meet. For example, this could be a good example for parallel lines. It means no matter how much you continue drawing each line, they're not going to intersect with each other. They're not going to touch each other. They're not going to meet each other. So these lines could go on till infinity, and they're not going to have any common sections with each other. About the perpendicular lines, we say lines that intersect at a right angle. So you may know already that lines could touch each other or cut each other in different angles. But in one main situation, if the angle between two lines is a right angle, we call those two lines perpendicular lines. This is going to be our Simple example of a perpendicular situation. As you could see, the straight line and the horizontal line are forming right angles, which makes them perpendicular to each other. I want to give you some further information using a 3D shape. Imagine this triangular prism. Let's talk about the perpendicular and the parallel lines in this shape. Now imagine one face of this prism. If you look at the right perspective, you could see the shape as a rectangle or a square maybe. Now as you could see, these two lines are going to be parallel with each other. And the upper part is parallel to the bottom line of it. And at the same time, one of the lines, which is marked in red cross, is forming a right angle with the bottom line, which is marked with the blue cross, which makes these two lines perpendicular. Now, if we look at the same shape from different perspective, you could see this. Now, in this shape, of course, this is the same shape, only the point of view is different. How many parallel lines are we going to have? Well, yeah, we have 2 and 3. So we're going to have 3 parallel lines. Well, actually, the outer side of the shape are all parallel to each other. It means no matter how long you draw it, these 3 lines are never going to meet each other. So this was all about our lesson today. See you soon with another video. Bye bye.